What is good? Fuck, good. Everyone. Shoobs here. This is so scuffed. What is good, everyone? Shoobs here. Today, we are doing probably the most important tier list of all time. The 2021 Thock tier list of all the different mods to come out and have been out since the beginning of keyboards, to be quite honest. Well, it's not all the mods, but you know, it's just the ones that matter. But we are doing this with Glarses. This is all for fun, by the way, but it was a fun little end of the year project to do together, so here it is. Hello, Mr. Glarses. Happy New Year.
Hello, Shoobs. Happy cringe year. Happy fucking year to you.
It is always a great time having you.
Yep, I can't say likewise. I've hated almost every interaction I've had with you, especially as it pertains to keyboards, because it always ends up with me being way sadder than I was before.
You'll be very happy today, because we're going to be, going over the best of the best in terms of what Thock has to offer from the year 2021.
How have we gone so far from the truth in such a short time?
Alright, so I made a little tier list. This will be the official Thock mod tier list for 2021 with all of the different mods that have come up this year. Also, some of the older mods and how they stack up to the modern day Thocks, you know? Oh, I'm gonna say Thocks.
Modern day Thocks. I've never encountered a level of cringe that powerful. That was a full body cringe I just did there.
Modern day Thocks.
Like, this is a research paper.
This is a research based on Thockology, you know?
Oh my god. I'm gonna be sick.
Alright, so we'll be ranking around 20 different mods in terms of how much they Thock. Oh god, kill me. Well, let's get our tier list started up. First off, we got ourselves the Band-Aid mod, or just Band-Aids in general, but usually it's used in place. What do people use Band-Aids for? It's like stabs, right?
People put it on the bottom of their PCB for their stabs, but
yeah.
Spoiler alert, it's not 2017.
This is a very old, it's very outdated. I'm thinking D tier in terms
absolutely D tier.
of Thock-tasticness.
Like, this doesn't increase your Thock. The Thock multiplier here is so minimal. Like, you'd just be better not having.
Yeah, and it's straight trash. It's not worth the time, to be quite honest. All right, let's see. Cherry tops. Putting cherry tops onto a Switch. Honestly, I would put this at A tier just because I'm a black cherry pie fan, and I think it produces a pretty, muted sound, top out sound. But what about you, Glarses? What do you think about cherry tops?
Besides the fact that I just hate any kind of
Switch modification.
Any kind of Switch modification that has me use anything more than just what came with the Switch. I think cherry tops are like middly clacky. I think, like, as useful as they are for having a nice topping out sound, like they are not they are not quite what I would go to when I'm trying to get that Thock, I'm trying to get that rich Thock.
The rich Thock.
I wouldn't put them. I'd put them B tier. I don't know.
Honestly, I think the cream stem, is what would derive the biggest Thock, out of a Switch in terms of modification. The cherry top does add to it, but it adds. I think
it adds more to a solid topping out sound. Rather than
it's like a very nice. Yeah, we'll
quite thocky, It's not very thocky. It's just decently thocky.
Oh my god, this video sucks. Oh, Happy New Year, everyone!
Two idiots say Thock for 20 minutes in a row. It's the new title. You're welcome.
With that said, though, I think the cream stem right here, we see it, should be on S tier. Most definitely. It's the granddaddy of the long PP, long pole sort of switches that are coming out nowadays.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that
definitely
harder
the start of
hitting. I mean, a lot of people actually are sort of conflicted on the sound profile that a long stem makes. Some people say it's thocky. Some people say it's clocky,
It's
thonky,
clocky.
you know?
Yeah.
You know,
It's like,
some...
you've got that thock, you've got that clack, you've got that clack, you've got that thock, you've got that clock. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You've got that clock.
Yeah.
You have
You
have a little bit of that clock clack with a bit of the thock clack that gives you that kind of clocky sound, you know. So altogether,
agreed.
you know, 8 out of 10
S-tier.
thocks.
I think
Very,
it's
very
S tier.
high.
Very, very high. All right. We got ourselves. Let's see. I mean, we put the goat image right here. This is the PE foam plus tape combo. If this combo is so fucking prevalent that we had to put it into its own image. I mean,
Let me tell you, right? When I'm not having a good day and I need to dream of something, I don't dream of, you know, being in a bright field and dancing with the dandelions, or having a nice meal with my friends, or even, you know, like getting a bunch of money or having a bunch of subscribers. No, I just dream of PE foam with 2 layers of tape. That's all I need. Because this is the absolute goated mod. Absolute goated, bro.
S tier all around.
The jelly and the popularizer, Mr. Tempest himself, man. Put this together, you have a mod for the ages.
Tempest really did come in here and change the game forever. I'm not gonna lie. Big shout out to Tempest, the granddaddy of all thocks. May that be your. I'm sorry,
Damn.
Tempest.
If somebody called me the granddaddy of all thocks, I'd be offended. But you know.
Oh man, but definitely PE foam plus tape mod. Goated S tier of thocks. One of the biggest game changers for the good or worse of this hobby. Now we got the towel underneath your keyboard. Not really a mod, but we've seen it time and time again from various different videos. Putting a towel underneath the keyboard can maximize the thocks. Do you agree with this?
I do agree. Especially because I think there actually is a video, I don't know how early back on, but last year when I was doing one of my Switch reviews, I was definitely in a little bit before the kind of meme sound test crowd, where I put it under one of my boards and it really added a thock. But at the same time, I can't give it a high rating because it really is just copium. Like, if you're putting a towel under your board is bad. Like, there's no, like, we can argue all day about foam, no foam, this, no that. If you're putting a towel underneath your board so it sounds better, your board is bad. And that's the result. Towels under your board.
Peak copium right here.
An omen, peak copium of an omen of your board being bad. So I can only really give it a C. I'm sorry.
A C tier. I do agree with the C tier ranking. It's not actually changing the board itself. You're just adding a different environment to it.
It's cheating. Spend more money. Cope harder.
Yeah. It's cheat. Spend more money.
Don't try and cheat us out of our money. We spent cold hard cash from getting more boards, and you just put a freaking towel underneath it. Don't disrespect me.
Okay, C tier. All right, we got ourselves a cult classic. This has been around for quite a bit. Got more recent traction with Hippio making videos on stuffing a keyboard with pillow stuffing, which is essentially polyfill. I think polyfill is A tier, to be quite honest. What do you think? I think it gives it a more dampened sound, but not to the extent of the S tier category. But it definitely doesn't change the. I think it has the best typing feel in terms of the mods.
Yeah, that's why it's so good. Like, it's relatively thin and it's not adding a bunch of pressure underneath your board, so you kind of still have the space to move in the cavity. So even though you get that dampening, you can kind of adjust it to your liking a lot more, rather than with foam, which is usually one thickness. Like, So
Okay, that was a little bit too technical.
oh yeah, sorry. It fucks so hard, bro. Oh my goodness, it fucks.
Damn, we
Oh my
actually got
goodness,
some
it fucks.
meaningful discussion on this video. That is quite
that's not
surprising.
allowed. That's not allowed. Take back everything I said. It's
Thock,
fucky as
Thock.
hell.
Thock.
So fucky.
Alright, now, this could be a controversial topic. We all know this mod. Making big waves with Hamimi Neo's video, as well as, shout out to Tet. What have you done to this hobby, Tet?
So, I felt like I was, even though I've never really adopted it, I was quite early on seeing this get popular, at least. I know it's been done a little bit before that, but I have a hot take. If you have to holy mod your stabs, you are bad at
making stabs.
I'm sorry.
I agree with that statement. I'm sorry. That is a hard agree. You're on a whole bunch of copium. Okay, this is gonna get dislikes, but
I'm sorry. There's just 3 reasons. 1, I don't like my stab feeling like a mushy banana for 5 days. I don't like having to mash my backspace for eternity for it to not feel like a soft avocado when I bottom out. 2, it's a pain. It's a pain to do. It's awful. And 3, again, if you have such a skill issue that you need to do this, bro, you need to get back into the trenches. You have a skill issue. If you need to holy mod your stabs, and that's the only way to get them to not rattling, buy better stabilizers. Or learn how to apply lubricant to your wires and like
straighten your wires too. Yeah.
Like
where should we put this in terms? D tier for the Thock.
Right to the bottom. Actually, can you make another category called skill issue, please? That's very
skill issue. Can we add a row below?
Yes.
We can. New.
I'm gonna make the skill issue.
Skill issue.
Skill issue bracket cope harder.
Skill issue bracket cope harder.
We're gonna have one more, I think, in this category. But
which one will that be actually? Okay, the Epsi mod, similar in concept. I think
skill
we need
issue.
It is
harder.
It would
Stop
also
putting weird things in your stabs. Noob is weird enough.
True. Okay, next up we have. I'm not sure if this is very popularized yet, but it's been popular. Or not popular, but it's been adopted by a few individuals. This is the T-shirt mod. It is when you cut up pieces of your T-shirt and stuff it inside your keyboard. Main person that probably came up with this was Alessio. Shout out Alessio. Honestly, it has a very similar effect to polyfill. It is it's quite thin. T-shirt is a T-shirt fabric. We're talking about cotton, polyester, whatever. It's quite thin. You can layer it depending on what sound you're going for. I think it is a very adaptable mod with sound dampening characteristics. I'm gonna have to put it at A tier, right next to polyfill.
Very solid.
Very solid. Would recommend. Achieve that Thock. All right, next up. We got the KBDfans, or it doesn't have to be KBDfans, but I see a lot of people buying this. I don't know why, but this is the spacebar foam.
I'm not the kind of guy to be like, no foam. I put foam maybe in every 3-4 out of 10 boards I build will have some kind of foam in it.
I think my stance on foam is that you shouldn't need it, but you can put in foam if that's the sound profile you prefer.
Like, we do crazier things. I think that's one too far. But like, we do crazier things for mods. Like, I really don't care if you put foam in your keyboard. But spacebar foam is too far. That's like C tier. I'm sorry.
I think spacebar mod or spacebar foam is skill issue.
You know what? I'll agree with you on that.
We got a PCB/plate foam. Very, very classic. Has been included in a lot of boards or have been an add-on feature for years now, I think. Eons. Has it held up? Has it held up in terms of Thock in the modern age?
Has it held its weight in the rankings of Thockology. It's decent. Like, I think it does more dampening than thockening, if you know what I mean. I think it can do some to dampen the sound and lower the overall volume of your board, but I don't think it's doing as much as other mods on this list are for increasing, you know, just the pure
Thock.
unidled thock. So I think I'd have to put it kind of middle of the leaderboard. I'd say maybe put it into B tier.
You know, yeah, I completely agree with that. I think it is still a good mod in terms of Thock. It has held up the years it's been around. It's a classic. It's sitting at B tier. I think it is comfortably at B tier, and it will stay that way for many years to come. Now, we have a very special mod. It is very unknown. I have posted a few videos with it. This is the docky mod, or what we call putting a docky makra, or a body pillow, in underneath your keyboard. Personally, I am very biased.
I'd like to create a new category, please.
What is that new category?
Yeah, we're gonna need to make a new category right at the bottom called Degeneracy Isn't Funny. Please get help.
Isn't funny. Please get help.
Lovely. Yeah, I think it solidly makes that category.
It is definitely a very good mod.
I couldn't put any more energy disagreeing.
Alright, we're putting it into a special category. I'll probably move that up later after I post, you know, we just move it up until S+ tier, but don't tell, yeah, I was muted there, right? Yeah. Okay, so we have ourselves the, you know what this is, PE foam mod. Oof. PE foam, that is the buzzword for 2021 in Thockology.
My goodness. Taking,
oh my god, this right here. And I honestly, when someone posted on that fateful day on, I think it was Mechanical Keyboards or one of the subreddits with the PE foam, here's how to make your keyboard sound like the Jelly Epoch. I did not understand how big of a moment that would be for modern day keyboards.
Some stupid roll of PE foam. Like the most, just like, you don't even consider it has such a massive, like people are making their GK61s sound like top end Thock machines because of a $1 sheet of PE foam. It's actually saved so many people's boards.
Honestly, I gotta personally say, like, I don't personally like the sound
on
every single thing, but like for a lot of like budget boards, it can, you know, save it. Like,
I definitely see the use. I know loads of people love it. They love the marbly sound it gives you. Absolutely game changer. They can't be anywhere but S tier.
This is S tier, definitely one of the biggest hits, or it is probably the biggest hit of this year. Really changed it up when a lot of group buys actually include PE foam now. Like, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Alright, we got a little bit of a more, well, how would you say it? More of a smart mod.
More of a classic.
More of a classic mod. But we got ourselves the Milky Tops, putting Milky Tops on your switches.
Milky Tops
honestly,
are docky. They're deep docky, you know. They give you
they do be. They got that muted sort of thump to it, you know. It's either A or B tier. Personally, I think I would put it in B tier, but because I feel like it's less of an extent than Polyfill and the T-shirt, but it is definitely thockier than the Cherry Tops. Although I do think the Cherry Tops has a more pleasing top-out sound.
But it's pleasing thocky. That's the question. Pleasing and thocky don't necessarily have. You know, we chase after thockiness, not knowing if it's pleasing, but just knowing it's just right. You know, I would put it at the top of B. I would put it in front.
Put at the top of B. Okay, top of B, and I'll probably put plate foam like that.
Yeah,
it wasn't really in order, but if it was in order, we'd have to definitely put
throw that goat right at the top.
The goated right here. Yep. All right. this is a pretty new innovation. I actually tried it before. Can't really say what my stance on it is, to be quite honest, because I have to do some more testing. But there are Switch tripods in the market right now. What else? What else is there to do in 2022?
There's gonna be boards made out of foam. Like, I call it, somebody is actually gonna bring to market a board. It's just layered foam. You've seen layered acrylic? No.
Layered just layered foam. The bounciest, thockiest board
the
ever.
The exploded view of the board is gonna be so funny. It's just gonna be layers of foam.
Oh my. Well, this is the first step, but we're putting foam underneath each Switch. This is the Switch tripods. Yeah. Honestly,
I mean, it works. I think I've had one board. I didn't build it, but it came like this, and I mean, to be fair, this had everything. Like, it had all the nines. It had your foam, had your PE, it had your tape mod. This board was stocked up to the nines. But I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that it's doing something, but without further research into this, I can't quite add it to the upper echelons of Thockology.
True.
I'd put it in C tier.
We only have a few more left. We got ourselves the KBD, or not KBD, it's usually just the Switch, or not the Switch, the stab pads. This is essentially what the Band-Aid mod is, but with foam instead.
Yeah, no, it's still cringe. I'm sorry. Stabs are not hard.
I hard agree. This is personal opinion again. Just personal opinion, personal preference. But mushy stabs just ain't it, fam. It just ain't it.
It's so counterproductive. Like, we were out here clipping, the ends of our inserts so that they wouldn't have that mushy feeling. And then you put foam on. Like, why? What was the point? What was the point of doing that? I understand stabs can be hard. Like, sometimes you just have a bad set of stabilizers. You've done everything. Like, you've put your lube in, you've balanced the wires and whatnot, and it's still not working. There's a simple solution. Just drown it in lube. And when that runs out, put more in. Yes, it's expensive, but it works.
Yep. I think it is D tier, same category as the Band-Aid mod. Okay, we have another classic. This is your standard case foam.
Ooh.
Just case foam.
Granddaddy.
The granddaddy, yes. Usually back in
my day, when we didn't have PE foam.
We didn't have tape, we didn't have PE foam. All we had to choose was case foam and plate foam.
And we were happy. We didn't have all these fangled tripods and PE foam, but we still made it Thock.
We still made it Thock. You kids don't know what we had to do to make our boards Thock.
We just had Cherry MX Reds and Cherry MX Blacks, but we still made it Thock.
We had to overlube all our switches. Alright.
Yeah, definitely.
What is this?
There's so much like
B or A tier. B or A. I think it's not S tier. It's a little outdated.
Everything in the A and S tier is better than it, so I'd only put it in the B, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's in the same category as the PCB foam and case foam. They're great mods. Been around for quite a long time, tried and true. But there's some other better options nowadays.
More Thock for your penny.
Yep, more Thock. We've made some strides in the study of Thockology. 2021 was a big year, but we got ourselves a very, very, very old mod, the O-rings. We're not talking about no gummy O-ring. We're talking about actual O-rings underneath the keycaps. This is
God damn.
This is a classic right here.
Food classic. People have been talking about this for years. I remember one of my friends telling me about this. Like, he used them for Osu because he didn't want it to be so loud when he was playing for his family. Like, this is even before I really cared. This is like 2014, before I really cared about keyboards. So I've been thocking about this in my mind for almost a decade now. Effectiveness though, like, is solidly D tier.
Yeah, it literally doesn't do that much. It just makes it
your
mushy.
experience. If you use this.
If you want to make your mechanical keyboard into a membrane keyboard, here's how to do it in one easy step.
Fuckers hate him.
Orings is a big meme, but sorry,
Yeah,
it's
don't
D
use
tier. Alright, these, okay, before we get to the last one, because this was Glarses' suggestion, but we have the silicone pour.
Messy.
I feel, honestly, I might put silicone on skill issue, to be honest.
Yeah, like, Hipio, I love you, and I find these videos very, very entertaining. And I've seen some people swear by them, like, bro, it's actually not that bad. It's not that. I'm not pouring silicone into my board.
Honestly, all these other options should be your go-to on, like, before you reach this point in your life where you're...
I doubt you also have this lying about. Like, you have to go out of your way to buy this unless you, like...
You'll literally have to order it separately. The ones that, like, harden inside the keyboard and doesn't... This is definitely cope harder, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure. This goes into the skill issue category. Now, our final mod of 2021 tier list. I completely forgot this even existed, but
It's a pretty
we
old
have
one. Yeah.
putting coins inside your keyboard.
So
I have no real clue. I don't think I've ever tried this in my life, so...
Oh man, in my dark days of over modding my GK64, I did absolutely everything. This was one of the ones I tried. I saw a really old Reddit post about this in terms of making your board denser. You know, when I remember when I got my first GK64 and built it up with my stock switches, I was like, bro, it's gonna sound just like Taya's boards, and it did not. So I was trying to figure out every which way I could to make it sound a little bit better, and this is one of the things I did. It helps for the kind of the density of your board. It makes it sound...
It's like adding a weight, right?
Yeah.
Sort of like...
It sounds more
know?
dense, more full, but like you're not really thocking here.
Imagine moving it like a millimeter and then just a little fucking clack,
You're
just
supposed to,
rattling all.
You're supposed to like layer it into the bottom and then like glue it together, but it's... I wouldn't do this today. I don't think it's awful, but like, yeah, I think that this is probably like I'd put it in
Skill issue?
specifically. I'd put it in D tier. Like, it doesn't...
D tier, yeah. I think at that like, unlike these ones, this one has, you know, history behind it. Back in the day, there was limited resources, limited knowledge.
Back in my day, we just had coins, but we still made it Thock.
Imagine if PE foam was discovered back in
Oh
2016. You know how far this hobby would be?
You know those memes where it's like, imagine if we did X and it's just this futuristic thing?
Yeah.
That's what it would look like.
Imagine
Could you imagine? If back when they were making OTDs, they came with PE foam. Oh my goodness! Imagine your 360C thocking. Oh my goodness! Bro, they'd be on the aftermarket for 30k now. Oh my goodness.
That, my friends, was the 2021 Thock tier list. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with the Thock ratings.
Thockology has come a long way this year, honestly.
It definitely has. What a great
Real bangers.
big year for Thockology. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for all the amazing support this year. I never really thought that I would get to this point in my life or in my YouTube career when I started making videos last year, but it means a whole lot. Cheers to a new year, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.